So one of our goals with Schoology is to keep our students within the Schoology platform rather than them going out to other tabs. So today I want to show you how to embed web content within Schoology using the Insert Media option. So I'm looking at this from the student's perspective at this point, and you can see that I have a non-graded Google form. I just put that in there for my own purposes so that you guys could tell the difference. If I just needed to survey them about something, I don't necessarily need this one to be graded, so I wouldn't create this one as an assignment, and we'll talk more about that when we look at it from the teacher perspective. But in this case, the student can go through, they can pick what they want, submit their form, and they're done. They didn't have to click on a link and go to another tab and then have to navigate back to Schoology. They can use the next button here to go to the next item within the same folder, or to jump between folders as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the same folder. Here I have a graded, so this one was created as an assignment and it has a due date on it. So if you do want to use your pre-existing Google Forms that you've been creating and using with your students, then I already went ahead and filled this one in. We can use those as an embed, and the students can create, they can answer all the questions and submit. They submitted to Google, but then they would also be submitting the assignment here. So I'm going to go ahead and submit, and if I come into create, I can just say I'm done and submit. What that will allow me to do is, because we said that there's no direct integration between the Google form that I'm collecting responses on and I have it set to automatically grade, those grades won't transfer back into Schoology, but by me creating this as an assignment and having the student submit it, then I will be able to I'll be able to put a grade in here for them that they'll be able to see. All right, so moving on to the next item. This is an example of anything on the web that has an embed code can be put into Schoology. So this is a PhET simulation. The students can go in, they can build an atom in here. They're manipulating this. So I could have taken them out to the PhET website where they would be doing it, but why not just bring it right into Schoology so that they can go through and manipulate that here. Okay. Another example would be, for instance, a Padlet. I know some of you utilize Padlet with your students. Here I have a Padlet created that has the instructions already inside of it, so my student can go ahead and create something in here. They can create a response and submit, and then it's just going to be, still within the Schoology platform. All right, so I'm going to jump over to the teacher side and show you kind of how this works. You'll see here that I have those 4 items inside of one folder. And I have 3 pages, the top, the Google form that was not graded, because if I just want them to view something, like for instance with that one, I wanted them to view it, but I wanted them to also submit it, but I'm not going to give them a grade for it. So because I wasn't giving them a grade, I just created it as a page. And then the PhET simulation and the Padlet as well, I created as a page. Now, if I wanted to, remember we had talked in some of the other videos about putting things in line on the page itself. If I come in and I edit any one of these, you'll see I have my yellow box because I've inserted media in there. I could go ahead and say that I want to display it inline, and then what it's going to do for the student is they're going to see that right on this page. And if I had this one inline, they would then see that Google form, and then the PhET simulation could be right underneath it if I had them all set to inline. But because I had so many items on that page, I just felt like it would be too much. So I went ahead and changed that. All right, so I'm going to delete this out of here. You've seen before how to create a page, so I'm not going to necessarily review that. But how did I get my content in here? So we're using the Insert Content option, and it's the square with the arrow pointing inside of it. We're choosing that we want to insert image or media. In this case, we're inserting media, and we're pulling it in from the web. So we choose the tab from the web, and we choose media. You'll see that it's asking for a link or for an embed code. So my Google form, if I come over to my Google form, and I hit the send button, inside of here, rather than sending an email or getting a link, these 2 brackets are my embed code. That's where I would find my embed code. If you wanted to adjust, the width of it to make it take up more of the screen, you certainly can. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that code. So there's an option right there to copy it. And when I come back over to Schoology, I'm just going to paste that in there and say Insert Media. And there's my yellow box. The yellow box again just signifies that I have content on the page. It always puts this space up at the top. I don't like it, so I delete that out, but you can do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and display it inline so that you can see. Remember, I deleted and I just re-added it, so there it is. Okay. I'm going to jump down to the difference now. This one was created as an assignment because, as I said, I wanted to be able to give them points for this particular assignment that they had completed, that Google form. The process is the exact same. I would be using insert content, going to media from the web, picking media, and I would be inserting my embed code there. Okay. What I do want to show you, if I go into the assignment itself, I can see here that I have one that is ready to be graded. So when I click on it, I can go ahead and enter the grade here that would be shown in the response spreadsheet that's attached to my Google form. Because again, that was an example of where I had a self-graded quiz set up in Google Forms. So all I would need to do at that point would be to come back over to the form, go to responses. Oh, I could open up my spreadsheet here and, to get the scores. And then it would be a matter of transferring those scores into here and giving them comments if I wanted to. Okay, so that's just if you are utilizing the gradebook at this point, then you would want to be creating those as assignments so that you can get them into there. Or in the future when we switch over to Schoology completely and we no longer have Edgistar, then everyone will be putting scores in. Yes, there is another way to just enter in a column in there, but it's just a matter of preference, so I wanted to show you that as an option. Okay, so I'm going to get out of there. All right. My next one that I had created was the PhET simulation. And again, the process is the same. You're always going to be just choosing that you want an embed code. So I'm going to show you where we're finding these embed codes. So for instance, if I was on the PhET website, they have, and again, you're always looking for those arrows, the embed code. So when you click on those, there you're copying it to the clipboard. This is the code that Schoology is looking for. So I would copy it. And when I come back to Schoology, and again, I did this one as a page because I was not giving them a grade for it, inserting content, media from the web, and then pasting it there. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's actually going to give me a second one now. Okay, so, and I will just quickly show you, there's the two simulations, they're still loading. For instance, with a Padlet, you find the embed code under a share button. And you're going to want to go to where, again, those little arrows, embed code, and you would be copying that embed code there. Okay, so just depending on what it is you're trying to embed, the embed code is all kind of located in different places. So if you're not certain where to find the embed code, just reach out and I can, definitely help out with that. I hope this helps as far as showing you how to actually embed. And again, our goal of keeping the students in Schoology rather than out on all of these different websites.